RTP 965 presenta Voces RTP con Lou Gramm, The Foreigner. Entrevista, Angie González.
Hi Lou, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Same here. I'm very well. How are you?
Good. Very excited for this interview. This is Angie González from RTP 965 Radio here in Ecuador. We're such honored to have this interview with you. How does it feel to be coming to the middle of the world for the very first time here in Ecuador? We are so very excited to have you here.
Oh, it's going to be a lot of fun. I can promise you that. And you'll be hearing a lot of songs that have been heard around the world, and we're going to bring it to you personally on stage.
Oh my God, it's going to be so much fun. And that moment when Foreigner was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame felt like the start of a dream come true for so many fans, including here in Ecuador, hearing the band again with the original voice that brought those hits to life. Was this reunion something that had been planned or discussed before, or did it all come together after that emotional night?
It just pretty much came together after that night. I know the tour was scheduled, but after that night, they invited me to be a part of it.
Oh my God!
And I had to say yes. Yeah.
What was happening in your mind at that time?
Well, the last thing I thought of was that I would be touring with Foreigner, but after the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and we paid tribute to a few of the members that have passed on over the years, and there was just this rejuvenated feeling that it would be an awesome idea to play the world one more time and give them an earful of some of our hits,
Thank you so much for that. It's like a gift that you're giving to us. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Yeah, and you already shared the stage before with bands like Scorpions and Europe, who will also be playing here at the show in Ecuador.
That'll be great.
Yeah. Does that create a special kind of atmosphere here for you?
I like the atmosphere of them being part of it. Yeah, it adds a special rock edge to the whole day.
Yeah, for sure. And you're a legend, and we love you so much. And we want to know that if maybe before or after a show, do you have any quirky habits, superstitions, or maybe a personal ritual that you've kept for years?
I can't tell you everything.
Just one, maybe something that you can tell us.
I usually have catering prepare me for after the show a nice big bowl of fruit with some whipped cream on it.
Delicious.
and the cappuccino.
Oh, I love coffee too.
So that's my a treat for working so hard.
Okay. And what's the most powerful or unforgettable moment you've ever experienced on stage that you can remember?
Well, it happened in one of them anyways, happened in the late 80s when Atlantic Records was celebrating their 50th anniversary of being a record label. And so they had a huge performance at Madison Square Garden, and all of the performers that were on the label all came out and did 2 or 3 songs on stage.
Wow.
And the Madison Square Garden was packed to the rafters, and people were going crazy no matter who was on stage. And so we played Jukebox Sure, we played Hot Blooded, we played a number of songs, and the last song we performed was I Want to Know What Love Is. Oh. And I'm thinking to myself, we usually have a gospel choir on stage for that. And I don't remember anybody saying anything about a gospel choir or any kind of choir. So I'm singing the verse.
Mm-hmm.
To change this lonely life. And then I started singing, I want to know. And when I started singing that, I heard a choir behind me, powerful and really awesome. And I immediately turned towards me to see who it was. And it was Robert Plant.
Wow.
It was Aretha Franklin. It was all the Atlantic artists who were performing with their own groups that night. The singers all came on stage, and that was my choir.
Oh my God. That must be like
and the audience was screaming when they saw that, you know? Yeah. And I almost forgot the words. it was shocking and exciting too.
I can imagine. Wow, such a powerful moment. Thank you for sharing that. Welcome. And speaking about that song that is like, you know, I've heard it. We have a generational gap, but I've heard a million of times my mom played that song to me. And we've heard that there'll be a special version of that song in Spanish. Do you think that this adaptation can capture the same magic as original? And do you know what love is yet, or are you still searching?
Well, I have known what love is, and I'm still searching.
That's beautiful.
Yes, there's going to be a surprise version of I Want to Know What Love Is, and I think the audience will be shocked.
Oh my God. Wow, looking forward to that.
Good. You know, will you be there for that concert?
Yeah, I will. Excellent. And maybe I'll find the answer at that show.
Awesome.
You know, I'm so glad we could have this conversation because even though we have a generational gap, we're united by a love for great music. And I want to know if maybe there are current bands or artists that have caught your attention lately.
I've become a big fan of Ed Sheeran.
Oh, I love Ed Sheeran.
Yes, he's great.
Yeah.
And I've started to like Bruno Mars.
You started just recently.
Originally, he was a little too slick for me, you know.
Okay.
But he's come down to earth a little bit, and I kind of like some of the things he's doing now. Mm-hmm. And finally, I've got to say Kelly Clarkson.
Ooh, you shared with her, right?
Yes, at the Hall of Fame induction.
Oh my God.
And she is not only an amazing singer, she's a wonderful person. And we talked backstage a long time, and there's a chance that sometime next year I might be on her show singing.
Oh, love that. And you know, there's a lot of rock in your life, but which of your songs do you think shows your most vulnerable side?
Well, it's obvious. I Want to Know What Love Is. It is probably the most vulnerable I've let myself be to the listening audience. Mm-hmm. But you know, I think Waiting for a Girl Like You is one of those songs too. And you know, you want to temper how much of that you show, you know.
Yeah.
And I think we've been very careful about how vulnerable we let ourselves be, and I'm not afraid of that, but I know that if you try to overdo that, it's not good for your rock reputation, you know?
Yeah. And if you could go back time and have a conversation with yourself in the 1977, right before releasing your first album, what advice or warning would you give to yourself?
I would say bring more clothes for the stage with me.
Why is that?
Well, because there were shows when we would play outdoors, and by the time we left the stage, our clothes were soaked, sticking to us.
That's part of the rock and roll.
Yes, it is. So I had a number of outfits to change into, but I remember one time I everything was dirty, and I didn't know what to do because we had to go from Virginia Beach all the way to Seattle, Washington.
Wow.
In one bus trip. And we had to make it in 2 days because in the second of those 2 days we had a show.
Mm-hmm.
So we rode the bus nonstop, only to get out to use the bathrooms and to fill the gas tank up in the bus. And the wet clothes we wore at Virginia Beach, we hung them up in the bathroom and put a fan on them,
Mm-hmm.
and sprayed some deodorant on them too. and when we got to Seattle, where we were playing the next, 2 nights later,
Mm-hmm.
we got there with 20 minutes left before we went on stage.
Mm.
So we got out of our normal clothes and back into those clothes that we wore 2 nights before, which were dry and smelled okay. Because we sprayed them down, But it was a strange feeling putting the same clothes back on.
So that's great advice for your
Yes, and we were exhausted too. But we had one of our best shows of the tour that night.
That's beautiful. A lot of memories, Lou. I want to thank you so much, and in the name of all of us at RTP Ecuador, we want to wish you a very happy birthday in advance.
Oh, thank you.
Looking forward to celebrating it with you at the Atahualpa Stadium. And this is my last question, because I'm over the time. Are there any wishes or dreams you still want to fulfill?
I think I've done it and I've seen it all. I'm still having a lot of fun performing,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't see it going on too much longer. But for a little while longer, I'm going to still keep up with it. And I'm not liking the traveling that much, but the performing I love.
Well, we're gonna have so much fun.
I can't wait.
Thank you so much for your time. We love your music, and I am sure this is gonna be one of the most powerful shows I'll ever witness. Please give a final shout out and an invitation to all of your fans in Ecuador, please.
Hi, this is Lou Gramm, and I just want to let you know that we'll be coming to Ecuador soon, very soon.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, it's going to be on my birthday.
Yeah.
So let's have a big birthday party and rock real hard.
Yeah. Thank you, Lou. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye now.
RTP.